before possessing the evidence of precedent? To what theological and scientific ideas were such hopes linked, and why? How did different ideas about the origin of suffering influence what Americans imagined as the best means of saving children? What histories did Americans tell in order to justify particular visions of progress? How did visions of earthly salvation relate to beliefs about eternal salvation? And what limited the ability of different visions of progress to include all of America's children? Imagining Progress examines the history of Americans' diverging assumptions about God, nature, and progress at a place where the stakes were at their highest, the bedside of children during eras of high child mortality. Beginning with smallpox inoculation and culminating with the fights over evolution in the 1920s, the book traces the history of debates over whether, how, and for whom a better world could be made. Each of our guides to this history, like most Americans until the 1880s, experienced the death of at least one son, daughter, or sibling, and sometimes more. Cotton Mather, with whom our story begins, lost 13 of his 15 children to smallpox, measles, congenital malformation, and other ailments. Benjamin Franklin lost a son to smallpox. Thomas Jefferson lost at least 2 daughters and a son in infancy, and a daughter to whooping cough. Poet Phyllis Wheatley lost 3 children to unknown illnesses. Transcendentalist Ralph Waldo Emerson lost a son to scarlet fever. Physician James McCune Smith lost 6 children to cholera and other unknown illnesses. Novelist Harriet Beecher Stowe lost a son to cholera. Physician Josiah Nott lost several children to yellow fever. Abolitionist Frederick Douglass lost a daughter to an unknown illness. And Minister Henry Ward Beecher lost 2 sons to mumps and at least 2 other children to unknown illnesses. Even after child mortality rates began to go down during the last quarter of the 19th century, the experience of child loss remained common, as our guides from that later time period show. Historian Andrew Dixon White lost a son to typhoid and 2 infants, a son and a daughter, to unknown ailments. Philanthropist Nathan Strauss lost a son and daughter to diseases of digestion. Civil rights activist Mary Church Terrell lost 3 infants to unknown illnesses. Sociologist W.E.B. Du Bois lost a son probably to summer diarrhea. Physicians Abraham and Mary Putnam Jacobi lost a son to diphtheria. Birth control activist Margaret Sanger lost a daughter to polio. Writer Samuel Clemens, pen name Mark Twain, lost children to scarlet fever and diphtheria. German immigrant Anna Bollinger lost an infant son to congenital malformation. Tulalip cultural leader Harriet Shelton Dover lost a sister to tuberculosis. Other guides, like the feminist Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Darwinian botanist Asa Gray, Omaha physician Susan LaFlèche Bacot, eugenist and physician Harry Hazelden, evangelical preacher Billy Sunday, politician William Jennings Bryan, and lawyer Clarence Darrow, did not, to historians' knowledge, lose children, but they watched and commented on the options available to explain and respond to so great and common an affliction. All of these individuals, physicians, poets, abolitionists, ministers, novelists, biologists, historians, statesmen, social reformers, feminists, lawyers, imagined that children might be saved from early death. In doing so, each imagined, often in very different ways, that the world could be improved via human effort. As they imagined, they argued over why such suffering existed in the first place. They debated whether child mortality proved God close, distant, or a figment of the imagination.